Making headlines this hour, the Attorney General's office marks its 75th anniversary with a formal ceremony in the capital where President Dr. Mohamed Moise presented awards to the long-serving employees, underscoring the state's enduring commitment to its legal institutions. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdullah Khalil, departs for Doha to attend the preparatory meeting of the foreign ministers for the Emergency Arab Islamic Summit, convened to address escalating regional instability. And the Maldives Monetary Authority states the Maldives official reserve asset reached $810.05 million at the end of August, marking a 4.5% increase compared to July. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Idham Naim. The Attorney General's Office, AGO, marks its 75th anniversary with a formal ceremony in the capital where President Dr. Mohamed Moise presented awards to the long-serving employees, underscoring the state's enduring commitment to its legal institutions.
The event conveyed former Attorneys General, current staff and prominent figures from the legal community and served as a platform for Attorney General Ahmadou Sham to articulate a renewed institutional vision grounded in transparency, accountability and constitutional independence. Recognition was extended to 36 individuals for their long-term service to the AGO. Awards were categorized by tenure. 22 employees were honored for 15 to 20 years of service, 5 for 20 to 25 years, and 9 for more than 25 years. President Moise presented awards to the 7 longest-serving staff members, while Attorney General Usham conferred honors upon the remaining recipients. Those recognized held a range of roles, including administrative personnel, support staff, human resources officers, computer technicians, directors, and procurement specialists. The ceremony also paid tribute to the memory of former employees who had served the office and have since passed away. In his address, Attorney General Usham reflected on the AGO's institutional evolution, describing its formal establishment as a distinct entity as a pivotal development in the country's legal architecture. He positioned the office as central to the advancement of a legal framework anchored in integrity and public trust. The adoption of the 2008 Constitution, Usham noted, marked a turning point in the AGO's mandate. He added that the office has continued to adapt to the evolving needs of the society and the increasing complexities of governance. Attorney General Usham also addressed the Attorney General's Office Act, describing it as essential to strengthening the office's administrative structure, clarifying its mandate and securing its independence as envisioned by the Constitution. He acknowledged that despite its importance, the law has yet to be fully implemented due to various constraints. Turning to the present administration, Attorney General Usham commended President Moise's leadership for advancing the AGO's autonomy. He went on to clarify that the AGO's remit extends beyond the provision of legal counsel to the government. Its role, he said, is instrumental in ensuring the full and effective operation of all branches of the state. He noted engagements with these institutions are not merely procedural, but serve to reinforce the democratic fabric. Attorney General Usham reiterated the AGO's responsibility to safeguard the rights and freedoms of the Maldivian people, affirming its commitment to institutional integrity, responsiveness, and legal robustness. In closing, Attorney General Usham described the AGO as more than a legal institution. It stands, he said, as a symbol of the nation's enduring commitment to justice, fairness, equality, and the rule of law. As the AGO enters its 76th year, he called for continued vigilance in upholding these foundational principles and serving the Maldivian public with honor and integrity.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdullah Khalil, departs for Doha to attend the preparatory meeting of foreign ministers for the emergency Arab Islamic Summit convened to address escalating regional instability. The meeting's critical agenda includes discussions on recent Israeli attacks on Qatar, the ongoing Israeli crimes in Palestine, and the broader obstacle to regional peace. In a social media post, Minister Dr. Khalil reaffirmed the Maldives' unwavering solidarity with the people of Palestine and Qatar, vowing to persistently advocate for justice and support efforts to hold Israel accountable for its continued violations of international law. This emergency gathering takes place amidst heightened tensions following Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's recent announcement of a Greater Israel plan aiming to occupy parts of Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, and Jordan. Despite not being explicitly included in this territorial plan, Israel has attacked Qatar and recently launched strikes against Iran. These developments are set against the backdrop of Israel's continued aggression and widely condemned campaign in Gaza since 7 October 2023, which has led to severe humanitarian suffering, including the starvation of its population, drawing global concern and outrage. The government is poised to implement stringent measures against individuals and entities involved in the exploitation of foreign workers, with strict enforcement set to begin from 15th September. This initiative marks a crucial step in the government's broader efforts to tackle the prevalent issues of undocumented foreign workers in the Maldives, being addressed through a comprehensive three-phase strategy in collaboration with relevant agencies. The Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology highlights a growing crisis where large sums are taken from foreigners who are then brought into the Maldives and effectively abandoned, often without their official documents. This practice frequently funnels them into the undocumented immigrant population, contributing to human trafficking and a breakdown of regulatory control, as the details are not properly registered upon entry. To combat this, the government has outlined a clear framework of penalties. From 15th September, individuals found exploiting foreign workers will face immediate action. Employers who neglect the foreigners they bring in, fail to pay salaries, exploit workers, assign them to jobs different from their permits, or neglect to fulfill basic legal and regulatory requirements will incur a fine of $3,242 under the Employment Act. More severe infractions following under Article 65 of the Employment Act will attract a hefty $6,484 fine. The urgency of these measures is underscored by the escalating number of undocumented immigrants who have not paid work permits, visa fees, and other state dues. Such individuals are reportedly engaging in significant unrecorded economic activities and causing growing social and health concerns within the Maldivian community. In response, the government has initiated data collection on all foreigners, actively working to integrate them into the expatriate system. Employers are now mandated to settle outstanding fees for their foreign workers, with non-compliant entities facing suspension from the expat portal. A grace period of 1 year has been granted for the payment of these accumulated fees, signaling a determined push to regularize the foreign workforce and uphold the rule of law. According to new figures from the Ministry of Higher Education, Labor and Skills Development, more than $69 million have been disbursed in loans and scholarships to students pursuing higher education since 2024. The data covering the period from the beginning of 2024 to the 11th September this year highlights the government's investment in higher education. The ministry's report detailed the financial breakdown for the period, which includes $69.1 million disbursed as student loans to 1,226 students from 2024. So far this year, $23.7 million have been allocated to 396 students, comprising 153 males and 243 females. Overall, the loan scheme has supported 560 male and 666 female students, while an additional $23.9 million was disbursed in scholarships during the same period. The ministry also reported spending over $17.3 million on undergraduate studies for 4,469 students since 2024. This year alone, more than $7.5 million have been spent on 1,687 students. The figures also provide insight into student enrollment and completion rates since 2024, with a total of 4,469 students newly registered for undergraduate studies, majority being female students, 2,806 female to 1,663 male. The figures showed overall 5,579 students have graduated during this period, with 2,237 of those graduating this year. Currently, 8,330 students are enrolled in their first degree programs. The Maldives Monetary Authority (MMA) states the Maldives official reserve assets reached $810.05 million at the end of August, marking a 4.5% increase compared to July. This positive trend in official reserves reflects various government efforts to strengthen the nation's foreign currency holdings. As of August, official reserves reached $810.05 million, marking a healthy 4.5% month-on-month increase from July's $774.5 million. This headline growth was further complemented by $117.22 million in securities, investments, and other foreign currency assets not formally included in official reserves, bringing the total foreign currency holdings higher. However, this positive trend in gross reserves is overshadowed by a significant rise in the nation's short-term foreign exchange obligations. These payables surged to $738.63 million in August, up from $688.24 million in the preceding month. This increase in immediate liabilities has directly impacted the nation's usable reserves, a critical metric that reflects the foreign exchange available for immediate deployment by deducting short-term obligations from official reserves and other foreign currency assets. Consequently, usable reserves plunged by 11.5% month-on-month, standing at $188.64 million in August, a notable decrease from July's $213.22 million. The MMA has been implementing several strategies to enhance reserves, including utilizing 60% of the US dollars received by banks to bolster reserves under the new foreign exchange law. Foreign exchange earnings from tourism have also increased this year, contributing to the positive change in official reserves. The $400 million currency swap signed with the Reserve Bank of India under the SARC framework has also played a crucial role in alleviating foreign currency shortages and supporting the country's liquidity needs. The government is actively working to bring about a positive change in the official reserves, as the MMA is expected to pay more than $1 billion next year. The Nasdaq notches a record high close in a mixed trading session lifted by Microsoft as investors looked ahead to the Federal Reserve's policy meeting next week, when it is widely expected to cut interest rates to counter a slowdown in the jobs market. The S&P 500 lost 3.18 points or 0.05% to end at 6,584.29 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 98.03 points or 0.44% to 22,141.10.
So there's been a lot of euphoria in the markets this week, and this is Friday and we're ending the week. And I think we're running on fumes a bit. This week we had an IPO of a name that a lot of people know, Klarna, and that has definitely caused a lot of excitement. There was news about Oracle and OpenAI and AI demand. All of this has generated or rejuvenated this excitement around AI. So tech continues to go up and drive the entire markets.
The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 273.78 points or 0.59% to 45,834.22. The rest of the market remains on standby for US Federal Reserve's upcoming announcements on the 19th of September. US President Donald Trump's top diplomat, Marco Rubio, sets off for Israel, telling reporters he intends to discuss the impact of Israel's strike on Hamas leaders in Qatar on Israel's war in Gaza. Israel attempted to kill the political leaders of Hamas with an airstrike on Doha in what US officials described as a unilateral escalation that did not serve American or Israeli interests. Rubio travels to Israel amid tensions with fellow US allies in the Middle East over the strike on Qatar, as well as Israel's planned expansion of illegal settlements in the occupied West Bank. Rubio said the President Donald Trump was not happy with the strike. Rubio met with the Qatar's Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani at the White House, underscoring the competing interests in the region that Rubio will seek to balance on his trip. Al Thani met with Trump.
Do you think the Qataris will still work with the U.S.?
I met with them. Vice President and I met with the Prime Minister yesterday. I know they had dinner with the President last night. So, we have a relationship with them as well. We've been working on a number of things with them. They've been, for example, very helpful in the DRC, Rwanda, or with the M23. They've been hosting those talks. So we had a visit there earlier this year. I did, and then went back a second time with the President. So they've been good partners on a number of fronts.
U.S. ally Israel's assault on Gaza since October 2023 has killed tens of thousands of people, internally displaced Gaza's entire population, and set off a starvation crisis. Multiple rights and experts and scholars assess it amounts to genocide. Firefighters and rescue teams from 25 countries gathers in Croatia to trade skills and go head-to-head at World Rescue Championship. The international competition sees 72 teams compete in two disciplines, extrications and trauma. In extrication, crews race to safely rescue a patient from a crashed vehicle, while in trauma, teams face medical scenarios with mock-up injuries and screaming casualties.
Just watching teams and through competition, learning different tactics, strategies, seeing stuff that we might do a different way in the United States that we can incorporate and bring back to our department, and do trainings with just companies and department-wide is priceless what you learn here through competition.
This year, teams from as far afield as Florida and Portugal took part. That concludes news for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.
Allah